Stroud Times is at the Caravan today at Space Hoppers in Stroud, and we're here to meet Stirling Gallacher, star of Doctors, The Office, Casualty and Coronation Street. But most importantly, Stirling is a Stroudie. Let's go meet her. Stirling, it's lovely to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. So let's talk about Stroud. What is it that you love most about this place?
I think I love the landscape that is Stroud. I love the fact that everything's up or down. And I think the vibe. I really like the people. I like the diversity of what you can do here and what's on here. While it's not massively culturally diverse, I think the diversity of, from, I don't know, going to see perhaps Ruby Wax next week, or Bridget Christie, or a knitting circle. Do you know what I mean? It kind of goes, there's so many different things that you can do, and I like how welcomed you always are here.
Do you really like the up and down of the landscape? I mean, you've got to go up those hills, haven't you?
I do, but I hate flat. Flat makes me sad. Whereas I think I found home here, and I didn't realise what I wanted was a view, and I found a house on a hill.
Thinking back over your career, what was the most memorable acting job that you've done?
There's probably a couple. One that springs to mind most, actually, was one I did really early on with an actress called Andrea Seal, where we did... we wrote a play called The Seven... Well, I said play, that sounds very grand. We wrote a sort of a sketch affair called The Seven Deadly Sins, which was about two enormous nuns who basically couldn't resist any of the seven deadly sins, and it was ridiculously silly. And we laughed the whole time. And I was talking about it with my son the other day, and I don't remember being nervous. Whereas I'm always nervous now.
Can't believe that.
And it was a hoot. And she is such a lovely woman and a great improviser. So it kind of changed every night. And the audiences loved it. And that's very satisfying when that happens. But it was great fun. But probably Doctors, actually, because Doctors actually changed my whole life. Do you know what I mean? I moved from London, I found here. So probably Doctors. I found a great group of friends and my husband.
Who's been your biggest influence in life?
See, that's tricky. I'd say there's probably three people. Can I have three?
You can have three.
Bless you. I'd say probably my sister. She would be my go-to. She's probably my biggest defender. She's fierce, my sister, in a really good way. She's an A&E sister. So she's got a huge heart, and she has me right there. Whenever I need her, she's there. And my husband, my best friend, I'd say he is, who again has my back completely, and he sort of fits the other bit that misses, and I think I'm a better person for being around him. And my eldest son, actually, who inspires me and who never lets me negative self-talk, who just always finds the joy and reminds me about the joy. And I don't feel nervous when I'm with him either, if you see what I mean. When we're in public situations, he's such a silly.
Going back to your sister, did she give you any tips, when you're on Casualty?
She used to say,
did you talk about?
You're not a bloody doctor, all right.
Is there a doctor in that? Yeah, no, you're not.
She always said that it's nowhere near as chaotic as it actually is.
What's on your bucket list, Stirling?
Well, that's a funny one. Do you know, I don't think I have a bucket list. How boring is that? I really like where I'm at. And there's nothing, my husband always says he'd like to go to Iceland, or he has kind of things he'd really like to do. But actually, other than, I just would like to continue doing what I'm doing. And I'd like to be able to do more of it, would be my bucket list, I suppose, to be able to make something, have an opportunity to actually do what I want to do rather than being employed to do something that somebody else wants me to do.
What's the most important lesson life has taught you?
That this is enough, I think, probably. And that's only come to me in my 50s, which is so dull, actually. Because if I'd done that in my 20s, I'd have been walking around naked and having a great old time, I reckon. But I was so worried about everything, or trying to be something, or be what you needed, or they needed. Whereas I don't care so much. And I don't not care, but I don't care for what you want in the situation, if you see what I mean. I'm very happy that if this is what you'd like, happy days, but that's it.
And that can be quite freeing, can't it?
Entirely liberating. And I don't know if that's menopause, the estrogen walks out the door, and so does your how many you give. I don't know if I can say that on this, but if that's the case, that's how I feel. I still care about stuff and I still worry about stuff, but I have a greater logic than I have irrational emotion or something.
What are your best and worst qualities?
They might be the same thing. I think probably my best quality is I like people and I'm not scared of chaos. I enjoy chaos. And I'm happy just to run hard at something to see if it works. But I think that's probably one of my worst qualities, because sometimes I'm a bit of a bulldozer and I haven't thought about something. I've got overexcited and I just charged it and I haven't thought about it. So detail, perhaps, I would say maybe is lack of detail.
The bulldozer. I've heard that.
My mother.
Before.
That's my mother. We call her
becoming your mum.
Well, maybe a little bit. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be a modified version or my own version. But yeah, she taught me that thing of kind of, if you try hard enough, maybe, or run at it hard enough, maybe.
Stirling, it's been amazing to meet you in the caravan.
Well, you're very welcome. It's very amazing to meet you too. I love your caravan.
Thank you. It's not mine.